What's up, Capoeira Nation? Welcome back. Welcome back to the Capoeira Experience podcast. Thank you so much for coming back. This is going to be a very exciting episode because this is 100th episode, which is I'm very excited to have this, and especially to celebrate the 100th episode. I'm having the special guest, my Mestre Mindinho, the one that mentored me, the one that guides me, and is helping me to grow my capoeira here. Not just my personal capoeira, but also my capoeira school. And in the growing of this is also the game, right? The capoeira game is part of it is part of our capoeira, right? So we train, we practice, and we train out of class, and we train and we travel to develop this very nice craft called capoeira game, right? So my conversation with Mestre Mindinho, we break down the capoeira game in many aspects, right? So we talk about what is the capoeira game, some key components of the capoeira game, how to understand or analyze this beautiful craft, and which is the capoeira game, and all the other aspects, which is the how to stay calm during the very confusing game or violent game, especially when we are getting started, so we don't get too heated right away, right? Also some training methods to improve the game, some and if the difference in between short sequence or long sequence to train, which are the advantage of each. So that way, should we train short sequence or should we train long sequence? Which one will be better to improve our capoeira game? So please let me know if you have any questions. Let me know if you want to know more about the capoeira game, because the feedback from you, once you listen to this podcast, and let me know with comments, so that way I can see if you have any questions out there for us to answer, either Mr. Mindinho or myself, and that way we can get connected, get more personal in this. Especially the capoeira game is something so tricky to understand, and so huge. It's a huge component in our trainings. So understanding the capoeira game is a big part of us, and with time and with process, with training and traveling and everything, you will understand more about the capoeira game. So let me know if you have any questions, and let me know if you want to learn more about this. But I'm not going to hold you back anymore. Let's have this episode 100 with Mestre Mindinho. Please enjoy, please pay attention, because it's a lot of good, really good information. Okay, let's go, let's have fun, and remember to share this episode. Share, especially this episode, share it with a friend, because the understanding the capoeira game is a big part of. Again, I want to repeat myself. And right now, pause this, screenshot it, and send it to a friend, and post it somewhere on social media, and tag me, the Capoeira Experience Podcast. That way I know you are listening to this. Okay, so no more talking. Now talking, but we miss me. All right, you know what it's called me. Peace. What's up, Capoeira Nation? Welcome back to the Capoeira Experience Podcast. Thank you so much for coming back to listening to the podcast. I'm very happy to finally get to the 100th episode, and especially very happy and be honored to have my first 100 episode a guest that I've been admired since the first time I saw him. And the first time I saw him, I actually saw him describing something very complex in capoeira, and especially, I guess, probably we from the very beginning, we try to understand how the capoeira game works, and sometimes as teachers, instructors, we try to describe that to beginners, and I think we can make it even more complicated when we try to explain it. So once I saw the video, I think gave me the idea to go over this because I still, after 20 years, I'm still learning and try to understand and analyze these different aspects of the capoeira game. And to not make it this too long as an introduction, please let me introduce my mestre, Mestre Mindinho. How are you doing, Mestre?
I'm doing great, man. Thanks so much for having me here.
Of course, yes. Like I said before, he's pretty much about to talk about the capoeira game, breaking down the structure of the capoeira game. And since that time, I remember you made a while ago those videos of, I think you were in your studio in San Diego, where you explain like the capoeira game is like a conversation, and it's all and kind of like break it down on those videos.
Correct. That was in San Diego just a while. I think I would say almost 10 years ago. Yeah, it's a little bit more maybe,
Oh
you
well,
know.
yeah,
And then, yeah, it was like a seminar, I was doing for my students and a few other guests,
yeah,
and then we decided to kind of record the seminar. And it was something a little bit different because it was more like a conversation, less movements, and much more like the theory, and trying to answer a few questions, because I noticed my students have a lot of questions, and then I just try to help them with that.
yeah, exactly. Guess especially the capoeira game, it gets tricky in how to break it down on many aspects, and since I saw those videos, I was like, I think now is a good time to go over all those kind of points and see how your perspective in the capoeira game, and how you break it down, and how we can see it from your eyes.
Well, it's like it's a little bit hard because I have a few aspects is complex for people sometimes, take a long time to be able to understand. And that's, I think, for me, is the hard part. The physical part, the aspect, like you go to the hard and you see it, and you see the movements and you see it, the interaction, you say, oh, I love that. I want to do that.
Yeah,
But have this part behind what's take long time for people really kind of what's going on here. You first have to experience, and then you try, oh, until you figure out actually exists that part behind. Sometimes take 5 or 10 years to figure out exist that.
yeah,
And then
yeah.
when that happen, you take more 5 10 years to figure out how it works, and that's a long time, it
Yeah,
should be like that. It's not that hard. The thing is, for me, basically, is capoeira is about express yourself. And the part people have a hard time to understand is everybody used to express yourself with words.
yes,
You need something. I want a water. I want a food. I'm a kid. You express yourself with words. But in capoeira, we express ourselves with movements.
yeah, 100%.
And that's the part what got complicated. People not used to that, and they have to learn a brand new language, how to express themselves with movements and not with words. you
Yeah,
know
yeah,
it's not
exactly.
just like movements in the air. Have a lot of have a lot of, I will say, have a lot of meaning behind those movements. Of course, not every game have meaning behind the movements, but when you see amazing games, when you see very nice games, things like touch you in your heart, and you
Yeah,
say, "Oh, I really don't know what it is, but I understood something in that game." You know, and that's what's the differential. You can find in capoeira.
yeah, exactly. Because you see a flow and the interconnection, the two players, and then you can see like, oh, this is actually a really nice flow in between both of them. And sometimes there's also when you see some different capoeira games where it pretty much is solos, so it's two people playing together but play by themselves, if that makes sense.
Yes, exactly, and that's is a lot of is they come with capoeira too. Is
Yeah, exactly.
integrate with the part. Like sometimes people want to go there and just I want to show my movements. I don't want to really have an interaction. I want to just be myself and show my movements, being or being training, and that's okay.
Yeah,
But sometimes in capoeira you want to see the other part. Sometimes you want to interact with your partner and actually have this kind of like exchange.
yeah,
That's why it's so interesting when you be able to learn to express yourself and have exchange, your perspective of capoeira totally change.
Yeah, correct. And I guess that's how we can describe what the capoeira game is, right? So it will be like interaction in between two to express yourself, or how would
Yeah,
you characterize this?
a lot of a lot of a lot of masters, oh, they make the analogy of capoeira is a dialogue. Aren't you saying?
Yeah.
And yes, I agree 100%. But capoeira is even more than a dialogue. Capoeira, it is a way to learn and interact with other people, with a community, and not just through um, what I'm saying is like it's really, really through movement. Each movement, that's why we call art. Capoeira is an art. It's not just a martial art. It's not just is not just acrobatics, not just that. Is art in general because you can express yourself,
Yeah,
you know
100%.
and that's why it's interesting when you be able to have someone you never met before in your life and you squat down in the pedal berimbau and you start a game. And when you start this game, you learn so much from that person,
100. Yeah, yeah,
and
I
you
agree.
understand how that person works or how that person, what they think about it, and capoeira give you the opportunity to do that, have this dialogue more clear.
Yeah, yeah, and it's funny, like you said, like you can meet a person the very first time, you never shake those hands before, and then when you go into the hada, is a really unique connection, and it's hard to like put on exact words unless you see it, and unless you already practice and training capoeira.
Yeah, I understand that exactly.
Yeah,
It's very hard to put in no words, And but I think that we are as a capoeirista, we have to kind of force yourself to learn to put that in words,
yeah, hundred
because
percent
we
agree.
are teachers, we're educators. You want to teach, you want to educate other capoeiristas. If we cannot put in words, become very hard for those people understanding,
Yeah,
you know and that's why I make a huge effort to kind of study every time more and be able to kind of explain in details what we do, because I think more you'll be able to explain, better capoeirists are going to be able. And I will say you're gonna avoid a lot of mistakes in the future,
yeah.
which I'm saying.
Yeah, exactly. And I like what you said of like, we're educators, and how can somebody learn capoeira from us if we are not able to explain what we do.
Exactly. Like, that's why we have to make a huge effort, even though I know it's hard, you
Yeah,
know, and we have to make effort to be able to explain what you do. And when people have questions, sometimes say, oh no, go there and put your effort, try by yourself, and then
be
eventually get
creative.
better. Yeah,
Yeah,
that doesn't really cut anymore. That used
yeah,
to be the way we teach, but today we have to kind of like, okay, that's what you should be doing, have to be more specific. We have to try to be
exactly.
more specific.
That's a word I just had in my mind, that we have to learn how to be specific in words so people can learn from us, and especially people that see capoeira for first time.
Correct.
Yeah, and what do you think are the like good components, or key components in the capoeira game?
Well, okay. We have to split the capoeira game in few areas. For example, of course have the whole physicality, the whole physical areas. I'm saying, like, when you're talking about dance, martial arts, acrobatics, and those are the physical parts of capoeira. You have to train and prepare your body like any other martial art. Any other uh, performing art. In
Yeah,
general. And then you have a deeper on that is when you start to understand how to express yourself, and then you become something more with strategy. You
yeah,
start to understand how I'm gonna use, because for me, those movements you learn, they, in the end of the day, they are tools. They
yeah,
are tools. You
yeah,
learn how to when you use that tool, the action gonna generate a reaction. Understand what I'm saying? It's a tool we use. Oh, I want this type of reaction, I use this tool. I want this type of reaction, I use that tool. But how we gonna, let's say, how we gonna line up those tools in a game and looking for the outcome, and like actually achieve the outcome you're looking for, that's a strategy.
Yeah.
That's the part when you have to really, with experience, kind of develop different strategies. And then you have a deeper, like when you go deeper in the martial art, is what I call the soul part. It's like when you start doing that, all those things, you start doing that with naturally by connecting yourself with our ancestors.
Yeah.
Like understand more about history, understand why we're doing that, and why capoeira been progressing, how capoeira been progressing. These give you a deeper connection with ancestors and make something more like, I would say your reactions become more natural.
Yeah. Yeah.
No reaction, because when we're talking about the strategy, is something you learn and you train and you prepare. When you're talking about the soul, is on all that kind of combining together, become natural and homogeneous, and you just see this flow. That's what you kind of like go, oh, I need more flow. Flow is not just how you move, but a combination for all those strategies, all those movements, in a way you can see, oh, looks so clean,
Yeah.
looks so
Yeah.
effortless,
Ye- Yeah. Yeah. I like the part where you mention of the connection, and dodging with the strategy or dodging with that connection. Because sometimes it happens that if you see a video of yourself, or happens many times in the hot, where you say like, I don't even know how I dodge that, but I dodge it. And then is I guess is the reaction of, you already know something is coming from there, even if because it's a deeper connection, the one that you're mentioning.
Yes. Well, that's a combination of many things. For example,
Yeah.
when you esquiva, when you dodge from some situation, you have a few ways to do that. What the most normal way is throughout the vision, is
Yeah.
your eyes. You see the movement and then you dodge. Okay, that's good. That's worked for a while, but when you get a high level, that's not work anymore, because between the time you see it and the time you dodge, you don't have this time anymore. And
Yeah. Yeah. 100%.
eventually, it's just not going to work, And then you start to go to a different part, like the strategy part. And the strategy part is pretty much about, okay, I can see your movements and agree with you, understanding the type of movements you have. I can now predict where you're gonna do it,
Yes. Yes.
and that's give you a little bit more time now, because a little bit before happen, you kind of like, oh, he's going that direction, this is coming,
Exactly. Yeah.
and then you say, oh, that's gonna be amazing, because okay, you see this guy, for example, let's give an example here. I'm a Jinga, and then the guy go for Queixada, and then Queixada is a very basic movement. I hope everybody watch this podcast already know what Queixada it is,
Yeah.
and then, but when I'm talking about the vision part, is when you see that person doing the entrance for Queixada, that's the vision part. You
Yeah.
expect
Exactly.
Queixada. I'm saying you expect Queixada. And then when the strategy part happens, is because that person moving in the game, and then you kind of like during the game, with this person doing many straight kicks and acrobatics, straight kicks, acrobatics, or in round kick, straight kicks, acrobatic, and round kick. You
Okay.
know when the round kick is coming,
Yeah.
because that person have a pattern, and you understand the pattern, and then you say, oh, now is the round kick,
Yeah.
and usually you get more time. Usually it's easier for you.
Yeah.
And then you have the deeper, where you understand what's the intention of the person in the game. And that is when you achieve it really deep in the game.
Yeah.
Understand, okay, this person play with me right now. She's super happy and she want to just do acrobatics. Now this person is not too happy. He trying to have some kind of interaction, stronger interaction,
Yeah.
Oh, the person is super mad right now. He's going to explode over me right now. See, when you understand deeply what happened with the feelings, with the intention of your partner, and then you can predict even better what's going to happen.
Yeah.
And then when you combine all that together, that's what we call flow.
Yeah, and that's when that deeper connection, the one that you talking about, right?
Yes, exactly. That's the
Yeah.
deeper connection. Because in the beginning, when you start your journey in capoeira, you just see the vision is your only resource. And with
Yeah.
time, you understand a little bit of strategy. And then with time, you understand the feelings of that person in the game. That's exactly what's kind of like,
Yeah.
how take a little longer for you to be able to get, that position.
Yeah, and it's really good that you mentioned that part of like, you start feeling that person, and then it can be the person is really happy and they just want to like do movement and show up and do acrobatic and all that. But then on the other side of the coin, there's also the mad person, right? When the game start getting a little bit violent. So how do you keep, well, I guess probably I'm already answering my question, but how do you keep yourself calm in that situation? Because sometimes there are going to be, especially beginners, when the games are getting a little bit harder, uh people are gonna start freaking out, right? And then they get stuck on back and forth kicking, back and forth kicking, instead of like, that's the time to start strategy, to create a strategy to tell the other person.
Capoeira, one thing about difference between, for example, a lot of people say, oh, capoeira is a martial art. Yes,
Yeah.
it is in some ways. But the difference, okay, we know what capoeira, why people think capoeira is a martial art. But why capoeira is not a martial art?
Yeah.
And that's exactly the question I have to keep in mind. Why capoeira is not a martial art? Because the martial art really worry about what's going on physically in the game. Attack, counter-attack. What's the best counter-attack? What's the best strategy for this counter-attack at this point? And if you do a good attack and you get the person a good attack, you win.
Yeah.
Because that's what it is. But if you're thinking about in a bigger scale, like in the society, it's not always who have the best attack win.
Yeah.
Because, for example, let's say you are in a situation where you have two people and they have a struggle, and they, for some reason, they have a conflict to solve your conflict. For example, let's say we are a kid,
Yeah.
and then have that kid, and this kid have a conflict with other kid. If I want to just win the physical situation, I go there, the kid bullying me, and then I counterattack you with, I don't know, some type of strike, and the bullying feel pain and run away. And I'm going to say what? Oh, in a technical situation, I win.
Yeah.
Because I counterattack, and my counterattack was really good, and I win.
Yeah.
But if you go in a deeper level, for example, in the school, they don't like that, because that's not a good example for the society.
Correct.
You don't want people, be violent and counterattack violence with violence all the time. We in Capoeira, we think in a bigger scale as a society. Sometimes just counterattack directly with a physical is not the best solution.
Yeah.
You have to understand what's going to be the solution, what all those people around watching this game today, when you go to the internet, all those people watching YouTube, all those people watching all different social media, watch this thing, what are they going to think about it? Your solution for that situation.
Yeah.
And sometimes the best martelo, the best takedown, the best straight kick is not the best solution.
Yeah. I agree.
And that's understand the whole game, understand the whole context of the situation is important. And that's what I'm saying. When you say, oh, want to get violent and get a little bit violent, and you kind of like have to calm down. No, it's not just calm down, but understand why the violence happens, why the person feel that way, and how the best way to calm that person down and keep in the game. Because you don't want to get in a moment where you have to stop the game. Because, of course, if you give a very strong kick, a very good martelo, or whatever kind of kick it is, and that person pass out or break a teeth or something, we stop the game.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
done.
for sure.
Nobody have fun anymore. For
Yeah,
the whole people, for everybody in this roda where everybody was having fun, it's not fun anymore. Nobody
yeah,
want to see
it
that.
kills the
Nobody
vibes.
wanted that.
Yeah,
You break the whole, oh, but I win. Yes,
yeah,
probably not, because everybody here, not happy about it.
yeah,
Everybody was having fun, and now we're not having fun anymore.
yeah,
And what cost of that? You know what I'm saying? How much cost that?
yeah,
That's why you have to figure out different solutions for different situations. In some situations you can't scale, and that's
yeah,
exactly a good capoeirista. He knows how to go a little bit more physical in the game, but he knows how to back up this physicality in the game
when and
also,
how. Yeah,
and keep moving and keep the harder going during the whole time. We're not
yeah,
gonna, stop the fun. We're gonna just have more fun by being more physical, because of course I like that and you like that and some people like that. We
yeah,
love see a good martelo, a good banda, a
yeah,
good
yeah,
takedown, but not enough to be able to stop the fun.
yeah, yeah, for
You
sure.
have to really keep that in mind all the time.
Yeah, like there's this really old video of when Professor Thiago Estilo and I think
Okay.
Samis was formando already. I don't remember,
Yes.
but it's a very short video, or it's like 30 seconds video where it gets physical, but they're still having fun.
It's
In,
super fun, talking about this video. I'm gonna have to say that because it's crazy you're talking about this video. Because I'm gonna say to you, is this video was I was there
oh, cool. Okay.
and I was in that event and I saw live, and actually one of my students record the video, and that's
Oh,
the
nice.
person posted the video.
That's
You
so
know,
cool.
the event was in Nice, in France, south of France.
Okay.
You know, if I'm not wrong, I would say something around 2006,
Okay.
maybe seven, something around that time.
Yeah.
You know, and I was there in that event. It was an amazing event, super nice.
I
And
can tell by the end. Yeah.
that specific situation was super, super nice because actually, yeah, Zami's amazing capoeirista, still is amazing
Yes.
capoeirista. We know them. And then, but that was a very interesting situation because they was in the top. That's exactly when you are in the top of your game, in the good day for your game,
Yeah.
because they was playing. And then, if I'm not wrong, I think Zami starts the whole sequence with a Vingativa.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
Estilo, after the Vingativa, go for Tesoura. And then Zami's counterattack the Tesoura. And you have a sequence of, I would say, 8 different counterattacks.
Yeah.
Something like you do when you drill at the academy, with your friends. They did naturally,
Supernatural. Yeah.
And that's a super, because that's one of the beauties of the capoeira. Why that happened, how you training for that,
Yeah.
how would that happen? The training for that, because exactly understand your body, have a full control, because that's the basic part. You have to have a full control of your body, but understanding how much effort, how much strength you're gonna put in that situation. For example, if Zames go for uma vingativa and Estilo go for tesoura.
Yeah.
If that tesoura is too strong and too fast, he might give the takedown, but it's not going to give the beauty of the continuity.
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
not going to be able, if you go too strong, the guy going to fall on the ground. He's not going to be able to counterattack, and then you cut the continuity. What he did, he gave a tesoura, but leaving time, leaving moment for this person be able to do the counterattack. And he's already with the counterattack, he give a third counterattack.
Yes. Yeah.
And you allow your partner to play. At the same time you play, you allow your partner to play too. And then he creates this beautiful, organic, natural movement with so much flow. And that's when we as a capoeirista love to see that,
Yeah.
love to see like your skill level, at the highest, training preparing.
Yeah. And that's the part where like training, and I really like how, like you said, it was very organic. When the first time I saw a video, it's like, man, I gotta see this again. Because it's so many things at once, and it's like 30 seconds video, and like you said, it's like it's an attack of the counterattack of the counterattack of and it's like, man, what is happening here right now? And it's really cool to see. And what I really liked about the video is like none of them got defensive, and none of them got like offended by the action of the other. And
but that's
like,
exactly the point. I just want to go a little bit on that, because what you touch is super important.
Yes.
They don't get offended. You know why? Because they was already in the level of when you understand the goal of your partner.
Yes.
When, for example, let's say Estilo was in base, Thiago Estilo was in base, and Zames came for Vingativa. He knew the intention of Zames wasn't taking him down,
hurt him
hard on the floor and hurt his arm or something.
Yeah.
You already know that the principle. When you understand that from the principle, and then you allow yourself to play the game, the confidence of understand the game, allow yourself to play the game. That's why it's super important. You kind of like, you kind of like to be able to understand the game first.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
The game first.
Yeah.
That's super important.
Yeah. And I really like again, that interaction, because it is the goal, like you mentioned, the goal of that person to not wanting to hurt the other person, and you can literally see on the game, because sometimes you see those videos of the Capoeira game where just by the body expression of the Jinga, you already know somebody's gonna get hurt in there. Just by the body expression of the Jinga, and he's like, man, he's about to go down.
You're right, exactly. And that's super important. More time you have in Capoeira, more you kind of like you understand the game. You understand before happen what's gonna happen, and that's, for me, for example, I'm gonna go in a point what's super interesting, where we first talking about why Capoeira is not a martial art.
Yeah.
And now I'm gonna tell you another reason, because Capoeira, more than a martial art, is a self-defense.
Yes. Yeah.
And how it works, and people really have a hard time to understand how it works self-defense in Capoeira, because they usually think self-defense in Capoeira, self-defense in everything is pretty much when someone attack you, you defend yourself and you counterattack.
Yes.
That's what people understand of self-defense. And that is a very old way to work with self-defense, because today, in the society we live today, situations like that, when you be able to have opportunity to defend yourself, is more rare. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody have a lot of people, everybody know martial arts, everybody have different type of weapons,
Yes.
And you don't really have like the opportunity to defend yourself, like, it's a very like unique, because usually if someone want to attack you today, they go for the kill. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They go for the end goal.
Yeah.
And then how works it? But Capoeira be able to make the evolution of that. When I'm talking about that, it's like how works like this. Self-defense Capoeira is not about when I get attacked. It's about before the attack happens.
Okay.
It's about the circumstance gonna happen, the attack. For example, if you're thinking about a normal person, on someone, you see someone come in your direction, someone with bad intention to you, you start thinking, how I gonna defend myself in that situation. In Capoeira, when we go to any place, you already, even though nobody came to you directly, but you're already thinking about how I gonna defend myself if I need to.
Yeah.
And that's natural. But how you make that natural? We don't teach that. I'm
Yeah.
going to tell you, because Roda is that situation. Roda is a situation where everybody having fun until something happen and you don't have fun anymore. You
Yeah.
know, everybody having fun, and then something you don't expect come from somewhere, and you have to
Yes.
ready for that situation. How many situations you pass as a capoeirista when you play with someone? Oh, this guy's super nice, super boom, and you get a kick from nowhere, and you said, "Oh crap, why this
Yeah.
guy kicking me right now?"
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you start to
100%.
prepare yourself. Even though when you're having fun, you should be aware about the situation. You should be
Yeah.
aware about your context. You should be aware about your surrounds,
Yes.
you know.
100%.
And then naturally, when you start going, for example, I don't have to go to a bar, but anywhere you go, in a club, in a bar, in a situation with friends, when you walk in, naturally, oh, we're having fun here. Yeah, everybody having fun, everybody's smiling, but maybe something can happen.
Yes.
And if
Yeah.
something good happen, who's the, let's say, the people I don't have control of could put me in danger.
Yeah.
And how I can already thinking about and prepare myself to protect me on that situation. And you
Yeah.
say, oh, but that's super hard. Everywhere you go, we're thinking about that. When that becomes natural, it's not that hard. When
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
become like
100%.
every
Yeah.
day, you go others every day in your life, this become just natural.
Yeah.
You
You
know,
just scan the whole room at once.
exactly. You scan the whole room and you say, okay, that's what it is.
It feels
You
good.
know,
Yeah.
and that is self-defense, because
Yeah.
the self-defense is not use my body to defend myself, is use my brain to defend myself.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
I
you know
like that.
what, this guy drinking too much, he, because I play with so many people in capoeira, and I start to understand how they work, so how the feelings, man, he start drinking too much, he started getting a little bit violent, eventually this is going to finish bad. You know what,
Yes.
I'm living right now, I'm living right
100%.
now before happen,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah. That's true.
I'm living right now before the situation I cannot control, you know.
100%. Yeah. Yeah.
That's today, that's what I consider self-defense. You know,
Yes.
it's not like learning a bunch of movement, how to take a gun, how to take a knife, this is a very, very, very hard situations, you know.
Yeah.
You have to be, I really like, I see those, let's say, workshops of self-defense and things like that. They work.
Yeah.
It's not because they don't work. What happened with those workshops, usually you do it and you, oh, I did a workshop, I'm doing really well, and then you stop doing for like 2 years,
Yeah.
and then you think in a situation your body gonna have the muscle memory to do the same movement you did 2 years ago. You don't
Yeah.
remember how it works.
A hundred
No,
percent.
who
Yeah.
who knows how to do that is the guy teaching, because you know what, he teach you every day,
Yeah.
and every day he's getting better. If something happened with him, oh yes, he have the whole reflex, the whole muscle memory to do it, but that's a rare situation.
Yeah.
If you
Yeah.
don't practice it every day, you're not going to be able to do it, in a real life situation.
Yeah. And in a real life situation, and same in the harder, right? When you feel it, and it's going to change your entire body, because and then you start getting nervous, and then the nervous don't make you think, and then make you think, not thinking about what is happening in the situation, and then you do something that you don't even know that you are able to do, and or you mess it up, or you get on a better situation. So it can be probably both ways if you don't train enough.
That's correct. That's
Yeah.
correct. Exactly. If you don't train enough, that's why in capoeira we say all the time, your body is your goal. You have, your body is your temple.
Yeah.
You have to preserve your body all the time. You have to take care of your body. You have to take care of your reflexes, your strength, your power. That's super, super important for any situation. You are prepared.
Yeah, 100%. And now that we talk about being prepared, what do you think would be good method trainings to prove the capoeira game?
Can you repeat that for me, please?
Training methods to improve the capoeira game.
Oh, Okay. It's remember when I said in the beginning, you have this first part where the physical part,
Yeah.
and then you have this part where the strategy part, and have this last one was this soul,
Yeah.
and then I'm gonna give you all those three you have to train it for, all those three you have to train it for, and they are very, very different methods to train those, you know. Of course, the physical part is about your body. Your
Yeah.
body is super important in capoeira, in any activity, any athlete in martial art or any other activity, your body where you're going to have your best performance in anything. And then have a lot of information out there how to prepare your body. What I'm saying is like, oh, okay, of course you're going to start training the basic movements and then you're going to build on the top of that. And one tip I can give you, of course, this is I can talk days about that, but one tip to really help with training your body is understand it's not about the movements, it's not about what movements you can do or you can't,
Yeah.
because capoeira happened naturally, organically in the game. It's about skills.
Yes,
It's
100%.
not
Yeah.
about movements, it's about skills. When you, for example, if you can move your body fast, if you can squat fast, you can jump fast, if you can keep in one hand, if you jump with both hands, if your body more and more you develop skills, and you have other skills, like for example, distance is a skill, coordination is a skill, um, having many other skills you can work on it. When you have skills, any movement going to work for you, you're going to be good.
True.
And
Yes,
doesn't
true.
matter,
Yeah.
oh, armada, oh, what's the technique for armada? We have one basic technique,
Yeah.
but that's for you start your journey. When you get a certain point, it's not about the technique of the basic of the armada anymore. When you get a certain point, is all about your skills. And then
Yeah.
you can do armada and stop armada in the middle, esquive in the middle of armada, do a backflip in the middle of armada, do a martelo in the middle of the armada. You can do whatever you want because you do have the skills. And this idea about armada is not important anymore,
Yeah.
because you become the skills what's gonna matter in that situation.
Yeah.
And
Because
that's
if you,
good for your body. Go
yeah,
ahead.
because if you're not able to move or to bring your leg up, how you're gonna execute the armada if you can't move,
Exactly.
Yeah.
Your body is your temple. You have to work on that.
Yeah.
But the second part, I say, for the strategy, and that's come with experience. The strategy
True.
is about like go to rodas, go to different places, play for different people all the time, see as many as games as possible out there. And you say, oh, if I watch a video, I can learn. Of course, you can learn and watch a video. I learned so much watch videos,
Yeah.
but also nothing compared with the experience. Actually, you go there and do yourself.
Yeah.
The
100%. 100%.
presential is important. It's a combination of those, not just in a video, it's not just present. A combination of those is amazing. And
Yeah.
that's what you're going to work the most. And that's going to be a better idea about strategy, how many strategies, how people work in general, what you can do about those. And to make all those two actually more smooth, more, let's say, natural, more organic, and make this beautiful performing movements with time. And that's when we're talking about the soul of the movement.
Okay.
And you're going to learn that by understanding more about history in capoeira and actually connect yourself with the music in capoeira. The connection of the music give you more that. You know what I'm saying? You think, oh, music is not going to help my game. Of course it will.
Yeah.
And that's exactly the point. When you start to understand about music, connect to better with music and training harder music, you're going to see your game changes. You have this connection, you have this, this movement is more, have much more flow in general.
Yeah. Yeah. You start understanding the timing, and then you start understanding the the rhythm and the music and the energy too that is transmitted through the music and through the instruments and all those. um is funny that you mentioned of the music, because that's such a key, such a important key in our capoeira game. It's not going to be the same that play harder without music, that playing harder with a lot of like really good music.
Yeah, when you get a certain level, you can see clearly the difference. You
Yeah,
can see,
100%.
I see amazing athletes in Roda sometimes, but I don't see great capoeiristas, and that's the difference.
I
A
really
good
like that. Yeah,
capoeirista not necessary is a great athlete, and vice versa, you know. And I see many athletes there, but sometimes you don't see great capoeiristas.
that's true. That's true. I really like that. I really like that. And the last question to wrap it up, what would be, well, the last two questions. So, do you think training long sequences can help to improve the game?
Of course,
Yeah.
that's totally part of the training method.
Yeah.
The long sequences, everything have your place and have
Yeah,
your
for sure.
moment. When you start, of course, you're going to start with short sequences, because what the happen of the short sequences, they give you a better movement because you're focusing more in the movement. And the person in the beginning, that's what they need. But at
Yes.
some point of the training, they have to start move on for long sequences, and what that's going to bring it to you is make it better transitions between movements, better connection between movements, and it's going to take a little, take a lot of your thinking during the game,
Yes.
because when you work with short sequences all the time, your mind have to connect with the next short sequence, next short sequence, and then when you have long sequences, you already start, how your body move all the way to the end.
Oh, I
And
like
of
that.
course, in a certain point, that's not helpful either,
Yeah. Yeah.
because that's going to give you few advantages, and then you're going to, the end of the day, like we're talking about, is all about skills. That's going to give you a lot of skills,
Yeah.
but later you need a different type of skills. What I'm saying is, for example, when you have this long sequence, going to be amazing because your game is going to have more flow. You're going to have to understand more about thinking. You don't have to think as consistent all the time, but in some point, your opponent will start to understand what your sequences are, and then he can predict where you're going to be.
Yeah. 100%.
And then you cannot repeat the same sequences all the time. Of course, in a certain level, everything capoeira, everything in any activity, any martial art, have layers of understanding. When a teacher comes to you and shows something and you learn, say, oh, but that's too easy, give me something else. No. The idea here is, yes, it is easy,
Yeah.
because you need, oh, but I want to learn that super hard movement with the super, well, to get that point, you need a lot of different type of skills
100%. Yes.
for you to do correctly. Of
Yeah.
course, you can do it, but it's not going to be correctly, not going to be the right time. And you're going to be the type of tool you don't know how to use yet.
Yes.
That's why you kind of create those layers where we start, create basic skills until you go to more advanced skills. When you get in the advanced skills, and then you're going to be able to work with those more advanced tools.
Yeah. Yeah. What do you think is a long sequences? How many move you think that we can say, oh yeah, this sequence is too short, or this sequence starting on
Well,
6 7 movements start getting long sequence?
depends. It's not just about how many movements, but also about type of movements. Okay. But to
Good
give
point.
you
Good
a
point.
little like a way to kind of like understand better, I will say after 10 movements, start becoming a long sequence. And that
Okay.
can go up to 30, 40 movements. I already trained sequences with 30 movements.
Okay. Yeah.
40 movements. It can be longer than that. But
Yeah.
I'm saying like, just to get some idea after 10 years, but also depends a lot of what type of movements, it's not like in a long sequence. It depends what type of moves you use, because you have different For example, if you have more defense movements, more acrobatic movements, more, I would say, attack movements, counterattacks, those type of movements, they have different weight in a sequence,
Yeah.
you know, and then you have to kind of like maybe a little, you want to balance that sequence better, because also that sequence, you want to be a long sequence. You have to understand, one thing, I do a long sequence with 25 movements, but
Yeah.
those movements, they have no utility for you in the game, because the way I put those sequences was random. I just choose random movements and put them in sequence. And oh, that's amazing. No, that's not, because this is not a sequence actually useful in the game.
Yeah.
A good long sequence is a sequence actually happened in the game before,
Yeah.
where you
Yeah.
see, you give the time, the kick, the time of counterattack, what's the next step, what, for example, I can tell you, let's make a sequence where you're going to give, I don't know, 4 round kicks and 4 straight kicks in a row.
Okay.
Not a useful, that's not a useful sequence, because you can do 1, 2, 3, but eventually you're gonna get attacked and you have another kick. You
Yes,
have to put a
100%.
esquiva there. You have to put a takedown there. You have to put go to the ground. You have to do a different type of movement,
Yeah.
and then become something actually useful. 10 straight kicks in a row and a backflip in the end doesn't really help.
Yeah.
You have to be a sequence where those, and then that's why when you see, for example, I go a lot of classes and workshops, and I see, sometimes I see students do some sequences and I say, in training, oh, like my training looks amazing,
Yeah.
but it's not useful.
Yeah. Are you going to be able
Yeah.
to use it in the harder now?
Probably not.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
That's what's kind of a little bit hard, complex to understand how this sequence works.
Yeah. Yeah. And again, it comes with experience, right? Right. With experience in the harder and training and
Of
just
course.
with
And
time.
do you want a good advice on that? It's like, well, go online. That's when actually the video helps a lot. Go
Yeah.
online, you get the best game of the best person you like. For example, just mention a game from Zamish and Stilo, you
Yeah.
like that, learn that, go get a partner and train that sequence.
Yeah.
Put all those movements together in a sequence and train it, because those was a real life experience, a real hard experience, and those are the ones you're probably gonna be able to use,
Yeah.
and not something just came into your mind and I just put 25 movements together and I train by myself.
Yeah. Yeah. It's not, it have to happen. Like you mentioned that before, that is better when you build a sequence out of something that already happened in the harder, that you saw it like, okay, yeah, this actually works.
Exactly. You start that way. For example, when you go deeper and you understand better, for example, I can make a sequence where I already have in my mind all the probably movements going to happen in that level, in a different level. For example, if you are a beginner, I know usually what type of sequence of beginners is more useful for them.
Yeah.
When you are if you are more advanced, those type of sequences have to be in that direction.
Yeah.
You kind of like with time and experience, you can be able to do those, but that's hard. You should start like just repeating other sequences, from real artists.
Yeah. Yeah. So something at least basic where it can get you started somewhere so you can eventually advance to something or a little more complex.
Correct.
Nice. Oh, Mestre, thank you very much. It was super nice to talk about this. It's such a complex conversation that we can be here for days.
Exactly. No, I know. Pass so fast. You start and then boom, it's done.
Yeah. And again, we can be here for days, but we eventually we can probably do another one where we talk a little more about like specific points.
Sure, of course. What I think, just give you an idea right now, maybe your listeners, if you guys want to send us, questions, if you have any questions, maybe for future for podcasts, definitely would be nice, just let's keep moving, because I think, a lot of people, in my experience, what happened is when for example, we talk a little bit and you kind of like get at some subjects. That's solve some questions, but create more questions.
Yeah, yeah.
Create more questions than solve questions. What's amazing, that's the good part about capoeira. You can go definitely deeper in that, and that's going to be the fun part.
Yeah. No, it was really nice to hear feedbacks from people being like, oh, what about this situation and this kind of training. So if anyone has a question, absolutely let us know so we can get that answer going and probably get more questions too.
Yeah, of course, and that's the idea. More answers, more questions, more answers.
Yeah, exactly. Well, Mestre, thank you very much. Let's talk soon, and have a good day. Okay.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for getting this far. Remember, please subscribe. Give us a thumbs up on Facebook or YouTube. Please subscribe to the YouTube channel. This is going to help us and help me to get bigger numbers and bigger subscribers so we can give more information. Okay, please, if you're listening, I know you're listening, I know you're watching, please give me a subscribe, give me a like. Okay, I know you're watching right here or listening. All right, have an amazing day. Thank you so much for tuning in and listening every single episode, especially the episode we just did. All right, thank you so much. Peace.